enjoy sharing my faith. The joy kind of surprises me after I'm done, but I want to be available to God because I know what He's done for me, and I know how I didn't know Him a lot of my growing up years until I was in college, and then a friend talked with me and just said, "Isn't it great to know Christ?" Thinking I was already a Christian, but I wasn't, and I'm just so glad she talked with me about something real. So I just said, how can I have that? And she didn't know how to really tell me, but invited me to a group where I could hear the real truth of the gospel. And the verse, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any mankind, man or woman, would hear my voice and open the door, I will come in, and I'll have fellowship with them, and he with me," really is the best verse. That just touched me when I first heard it, and I thought, oh, is that? You have to ask Him in your heart. So I just prayed along with the person in this charge of a meeting that I went to, and I was so shocked that Christ actually came in my heart. That's how big my faith was. I just thought, well, I want to ask Him. And He said, if any man would hear my voice and open the door, I'll come in, and He did. And so I just want to be available to God to share with others. And so when I go places, I try to just say, I'm available, God. Love people through me. Just fill me with your Holy Spirit. Use me however you want. So I just try to just be me and talk to people, and just in the conversation, often it will come up because I'll just even try to make a comment about our country. And like, we're in such bad shape, and everybody agrees. And then just to say, we really need to pray for our nation. And then they'll kind of agree, and then I'll say, I don't know if you're a Christian, and often that'll be a clue. They'll say, yes, I know Christ, or they'll say, I don't go to church. But it gives me an opportunity to share a bit of my testimony of how I came to know Christ, just briefly. And then if they're interested, I just have a little card with me that says, do you want to know God? And I just say, I have a card that will tell you a bit more. Would you like to see that? And that's what happened with Ashley that day. And she said, yeah, I want to see that. And so I just read through that card with her and showing her the pictures of how we're separated from God. And that here's Jesus as the bridge. And that made sense to her, as it does to many people that I share with. And then I just keep reading and read the back, and there's the verse, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." And I say, that was me. I needed to open that door. And maybe this prayer on here makes sense to you. Read of this and see what you think of it. So they'll read it, usually quietly, and then I'll say, does that express your heart? And often they'll say yes. And I'll say, you know what? A lot of times people pray this right with me. And you could do that. I'm going to just read it out loud. You can do that, or you can read it silently. I'll just wait quietly, and they'll do that. Often read it out loud. And then I'll say, where's Christ? After they pray it. And they'll usually say, He's in my heart. And if they don't, I say, look, He didn't say I might come in. He said I will. And they can see that if they asked Him, He will come into their heart, because He wants them to know Him. And that's the beginning of an amazing walk with Him. And it's a simple, childlike thing to do. You can do it. Anyone can do it, from 95 or 100 to down to a 3-year-old.